Hello, good morning, afternoon to everyone. My name is Adi, and I have Tanguy from Dipli today, one of our customers. Uh,
Hello.
hello. And he's the founder of Dipli. And what Dipli does, I think the best way to describe you guys is that you're trying to save our planet one by one, and fixing our electronics so it doesn't, go anywhere that it shouldn't go. And this is a mission that our company is very, very passionate about. And so we want to hear from you. We want to hear, how you used platform so far, the future, which includes Epson as well. Would love to hear that. But first, I want to hear about the company and what you guys do, etc. I will say before we start, Tanguy is very friendly and wants to get questions and answer questions as and when they come in. So let's keep it interactive. We don't have a lot of content. We only have 4 slides. This is really about conversation. And then I forgot to introduce Paul, our DevRel expert, who's here to help with, answering questions on the platform and apps side. So Tanguy, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start with a small introduction about Dipli. So what is Dipli? Dipli is actually an easy maker on the second-hand consumer electronics market. So our key mission, as say Hadi, is to reduce the e-waste and to expand the life of the product. So how to do so? To extend the life of the product. The product is consumer electronics, so it can be a smartphone, tablet, laptops. And to extend their life, the key point is to give them a second life or a third life. To do so, we help the distributors, the retailers, the telecom carriers to, at first, to have an offer on a refurbished product. So we help them as a distributor to get this offer because in 2025 you cannot be sell only brand new products. It's not responsible anymore, as everybody knows that when you use smartphones, you use raw material. There is a lot of extraction, there is transportation, there is all this pollution for only a period of time which of use which is too low. So we extend this life, and to extend this life, so that we help to have a second life. Our system is to help this kind of partner, and currently they have a difficulty to source the product, and we help them to source because on the markets, on the refurbished markets, there is 3 main issue: quality, quantity, price. Thanks to us, they have on one-stop shop, they have the product that they need at the right time, at the right price. So this is the first part of our platform. And the second part of our platform is to help all the distributors, retailers to have a solution which is the trading, of course. Currently, you cannot sell a product without offering a solution, a trading solution. So thanks to us, they have this, of course, and they have an easy, I will say, an easy trading solution with a right price and a service very efficient. The worst case currently is the reseller that sell a brand new product and then they let their customer go away, and the customer in some case is selling the product, his former product, to a competitor. And even worse, sometimes he doesn't sell it at all, and he keep it just in case in his home, and this is a big waste in this case. So this is a two big service that we have: so distribution of refurbished products and trading solution. and we are working with more than 100 players behind, which are refurbisher. So they send us price stocks in real time through our platforms, and we manage it. So mainly through thanks to platform. And we are on the European market. So we are mainly based in France and Spain. 40 people, and we set up the company 8 years ago. And we have 15 tech people, so working on the infra side. If there is no question, I can continue maybe to explain you what were our issue on the infra on the server side. The first issue when we were growing, so at the beginning of the company, we were 2 people, and the more you are growing, the more your customer have a high requirement. And of course, thanks to the growth and thanks to the bigger account that we have now, we work with telcos such as Orange. We work with insurance such as AXA, with big store such as maybe you may know Leclerc in Europe. And this kind of a customer, of course, need a 24/7 working platform. And when we sign the first big contract, we say, okay, but if there is an issue during the night, if there is an issue during the weekend, we didn't have a tech team as big, and even today, nobody want to work at night or during the weekend if possible. So platform is a good solution, but I will just tell it after the solution. Now it's the issue. And so the second point was our tech team was growing. And when you are growing, you need to manage I will say the organization, and how to set up a dev environment, how to manage a feature, and how to send the PR right away and easily. And that was one of the second issue that we have. And another point that we had a few years ago, so before using platform, was to handle the seasonal peak. In our business, we are doing a lot of business at the end of the year, during the Black Friday and during Christmas. At this time, we have a huge peak of traffic, but we don't need a huge server all the year to manage the peak during few weeks. And another point, we have also rush hour. Rush hour because we have hundreds of thousands of API calls per day, and sometimes per hours, and because of few cron or few many things going on through our platforms. And the rush hour, we need also virtual server. We needed virtual server to manage the rush hour. Before that, we had very hard weeks where when the business was growing, the API calls were growing. We had a bad time where our platform was crashing every day. So that was quite painful, and that was one of the points what we need a better solution. And the last issue that we had is to control the cost, at least to have an idea of the costs yearly. When you are growing, you are setting up a new server every 2 months for each services. The consumption is sometimes unknown at the beginning of the service. That was another issue. Do you have any question at this time? No?
Doesn't look like so far.
Okay, perfect. So with all this issue, the question is now, why did we choose Platform.sh? Platform for us today help a lot to manage the dev environment. We can clone very easy an environment. We can develop new feature and have environment directly connected to the master environment very easily. And in few click, it's done. It's also help a lot when we have a new tech in our team to onboard him and to show him it's much easier than before. And on the second point, where it's a key point, it's to handle the seasonal peak, as I said, without setting up a server all year round. So that's really a key point which help us also to manage, of course, the cost, but also to manage the I will say the peak. So as I say, yes, the cost, of course, with platform, we have a clear view on what is going to cost during the year. If during the year we have a new big service launching, of course, we can have a review, but that's associated to a new business. And this is a big difference than before. Before, even without a new business, sometimes you had a change in your invoice. And another point, it's the issue resolution. Sometimes now, and that's very lovely, we wake up in the morning and we see that there was an issue during the night, and we receive an email from platform which say, okay, you had an issue during the night and it's already solved. Well, you should have a look to this service to make sure it doesn't crash anymore. But now platform is, I would say, is solving our issue even before we see them, or when we cannot see them when we are not at work. So this is very a key point. And another point, it's that we have human support to help us and to discuss. That's something which is not in the, I would say, in the business, not on every business, not on every infra company. And this is very, very good because they help us, of course, when there is an issue, but they also advise us before launching a new service. We can set up a call, discuss, and get a human advice, which is very good. And how we set up platform, we did it step by step. We didn't change all our system from one day to another. It's much too hard. So we did by the new services that we launched. So once we had a new services, so every 3 to 6 months, we set up a new in our platform, a new service, and so on a regular basis. So it was not, I will say, hard, and it was not so difficult. And because there is no, I will say you can do it step by step. So we are still not 100% platform. I will say 90%, and but you can. It's not an issue. You can make the different infra discuss together. So I can continue if there is no more question, Paul.
I'll ask a question since nobody
Okay.
else has. You
Yeah.
mentioned you're 90% migrated over to platform.
Yeah.
Is the last 10% planned to be moved over still, or is it something that just won't work in the platform configuration or infrastructure?
That's a good question. Yeah, there is some service where we have some, I will say, where platform doesn't match our need currently. It's very specific service, but for instance, we have a service where we need to make discussion between a bank to bank. It's called a CFT server, and on this side, we must add a physical server, and we could not have a virtual server because there is many technical requirement for this bank-to-bank CFT connection. So for this kind, for instance, we are not on platform yet. So maybe soon there will be new service on platform to help us to manage this, but it's not the case yet. So this is for this kind of service that we didn't switch yet. And just another thing on platform that I will say, some improvement that are needed from my point of view for platform. It's the dev environment. Dev environments are very easy to make, very easy to manage, and that's amazing. But I will say a bit still slow, as we cannot manage them as easily as the master environment. So we discuss, of course, with the platform how to solve this, and I'm sure it will be solved soon. I will go to the next slide, if it's okay. So the next slide is the future, the question of the future. We saw a few months ago the new service Upson and platform, and we decided to go for it. As our new current project is building an Upson. We choose it for one major point. It's that on Epson you can choose exactly. For instance, you can choose the CPU, you can choose the storage. Instead of choosing like what you do on platform, you choose the size of the t-shirt. So for instance, you need a small t-shirt, S, so you choose a S. But if you need a huge database, you cannot on platform say, okay, I want a XXL database. So this is why we are going to Epson now, and I guess we'll switch all our service in the future, because sometimes and more on some service we need dedicated service, even more in detail, where we need a dedicated database or a dedicated CPU for a dedicated project. So this is one of the key point, and as far as now, and we are satisfied. The project is not launched yet, but the dev environments on Epson are as easy as on a platform. So for now, everything is going all right.
We love it when it's short and sweet. So thank you for that. I would encourage anybody, if you've got any questions, but I'll ask Paul if we kind of missed anything in your mind.
I mean, I have a personal question.
Always.
Okay.
Are you gonna expand out into other geographic areas, maybe into the States?
We need you here.
Yeah. Europe is already quite a big market. Of course, we think about the States, but currently we have still many to do in Europe. What I didn't say is that we are a major player in Europe. We are dealing with more than 800,000 of products per year. We are so soon. I hope this year we will reach the million product managed. But still, in Europe, there is so many to do. So it will be the next another step for the States soon, but I don't have the date yet.
We'll support you. I'll be your first client.
Thank you.
And Paul, I don't know, because for some of us, for some other people on the call, maybe it's worth stating that Epson is a new brand by Platform, and kind of talk a little bit about that. Maybe a couple of sentences. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the underlying infrastructure between Platform.sh and Upson is the same. As you mentioned, the big difference between the two really is the flexibility in resources and the pricing model. So as you had in your slide, or have this slide, right? Platform is more of a t-shirt size, or if you're in the States, kind of like a prepaid cell phone plan, where you're saying, I'm going to pay X amount per month, and I'm going to use 30 gigabytes of data every month. And if you If you don't use all of that, well, you're still paying the same amount of money. As you also mentioned, you can't necessarily change the resources in a more flexible way per different container. So you can't have like a small application container, but then a double XL or a 4XL database. Like it's not that way. So with Upsun, what we wanted to do is two things really, is generate or give the ability to be more flexible in the resources and give the user more control over those resources and how they're allocated into the various pieces and parts of their project, but then also give a different pricing ability to say, okay, I only need this very small thing and I only want to pay for exactly the resources I'm using. I don't want to prepay for resources that I might not use. So that with Upsun, you get that very flexible, very powerful way to control and manage those resources exactly as you need. So it's really all the same underneath, right? The infrastructure, it all works the same. If you've used Platform, moving into Upsun is going to be almost identical as far as configuration files. The regions are the same. Everything's very, very similar because it's all the same underneath. It's really just back to how do you want the resources managed? Do you need that flexibility? And then the pricing model. Do you want to have that guaranteed amount of resources that you always have and can use, or do you only want to pay for exactly what you're using?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. All right, guys. So this was really just fantastic, Tanguy. I can't thank you enough for sharing your story. And personally, honestly, I'm rooting for you guys because that's what we need.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about your mission. In the chat here, you have some links to where the recording is going to be, the case study that we wrote for Dipli, and Tanguy's LinkedIn contact. So if you guys want to connect, you know, directly, that will be great. We have one question. So beyond, and that's maybe for you, Paul, beyond providing hosting services, how has Platform contributed to your organization's broader sustainability strategy, and how do you see the apps and greener region discount creating an impact? I think right now you guys haven't implemented yet, is that right?
Yeah, no, so you mean the sustainability, the server that you have, the green server that you have, yeah, right?
Yeah.
We use it, but that was not, to be honest. Well, our business is fully green, but when we launched the service, I think it was not yet on Platform,
Makes
so
sense.
we didn't start with it at the beginning.
So
So-
add it to the list of goals. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
for those that may be watching or listening and are not familiar with that, when you choose the particular region that you want to launch your project onto or with, we give you carbon intensity values. So you can see exactly which of those regions are more sustainable, more green, or not. In addition, on Upsun, when you do that, we offer a discount by choosing a more greener region. So that gives you the ability not only to save some money, but also to coincide or tie into your company's particular green initiatives.
The more the greener, the better. Awesome. So if you don't have any more questions, and I'm not seeing anything, so hopefully everything was super clear. Again, Tanguy, thank you so much.
Thank you
And
very much.
Paul, thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you again.
Thank
Have an
you.
awesome
Bye bye.